Hey guys, BrandonioProductions here, and welcome to, I believe, this is the 6th or 7th, my apologies, installment in the How to Edit with Vim tutorial series. Today, we're going to be talking about Vim's number modifier. So, we already know about a modifier, a post modifier, if you will, where we can insert a command, and then we can insert a modifier to explain to Vim where we want the command to apply to. So for example, if we want to delete or yank or change, we can use a modifier to say what we want to delete, yank, or change. So today, I'm going to be talking about the pre-number modifier that you can actually use in Vim that makes a lot of things easier. So let's go ahead and open up GVim, and we're just going to go ahead and move the GVim window and resize it. And then, just like in the previous tutorial, we're going to edit our file using the :e command and then the file name test.txt. So this is the file that we've been working on for our entire tutorial series, and it's become quite a mess. So what we actually want to do is we want to clean this file up, and that's just what we're going to do in this tutorial. So I mentioned at the beginning of this tutorial, in fact it was probably like 30 seconds ago, and you're probably like, why are you repeating this? Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, what we're going to be mentioning is the number pre-modifier. So let's just cover a very basic overview of this. So we currently know that L moves us right and H moves us left. However, what happens if we wanted to move 10 spaces to the right? Well, we just type in 10 and then L, and that repeats the L action 10 times. Same thing, if we wanted to move 10 spaces to the left, we type 10H. Pretty nifty, right? If we type 2L, we move over 2 characters. If we type 2H, or I'm pressing 2H, we move over 2 characters. If we type 4K, we move up 4 lines. 4J, we move down 4 lines. 5K, up 5 lines. 5J, down 5 lines. Very simple. But it can be extremely powerful in practice. Say, for example, you're going through a document, and we have this line, "This is another line," and we want to delete the 2 words, "another line." Well, we currently have the functionality to delete till the end of a line. However, let's just say we want to delete the 2 words without deleting the punctuation at the end of line. Well, in order to do this, we can use the D command, which is delete, and we know how to move words, right? We can use the W command to move words, and then we can use B to move backwards. Get it? Backwards? We're moving words back. Anyway, so since we know that W will bring us to the second word, and we know that there's 2 words here, we can actually use the delete with the word modifier, with the number modifier, to tell it to delete the next 2 words. So we're going to say delete, which is D, 2, and then lowercase w for words. And as you can see, that just deleted the next 2 words. Pretty nifty. So we can do the same thing by pressing K and D2W here, and it will actually remove these words. Now what if here we wanted to delete the next 2 lines? Well, we have a few options, but I think what we actually want to do is we want to learn another this goes hand in hand with the number modifier. So for example, if we wanted to yank these next 2 words, we would type Y2W for yank 2 words. And then if we wanted to paste them, we can just go ahead and press paste here, and we have another line. What if we wanted to yank the entire line, however? Well, in order to do that, instead of using the capital Y command, you can also repeat commands once in order to apply the command to the entire line. And this applies to most commands within Vim. So for example, Y, we can type YY, that's 2 lowercase y's, and that will actually copy the entire line, as we can tell by pasting it. Right? So if we wanted to delete an entire line, instead of going to the beginning of the line and typing capital D, we could actually repeat the lowercase d command. So dd, 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 and this is deleting line by line, which is obviously extremely repetitive. So let's go ahead and paste this line back in a couple times. And let's think, how many lines do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 lines here, so why not just delete all 14 of them at a time? Well, let's do it. So we just need to repeat the dd command 14 times. So we say D for delete, and then we want to use the modifier 14 times. So then we type 14, and then we type in the D modifier to signal that we want to delete an entire line. And an interesting small fact for you right here is if you look at the bottom of our gvim window, you can actually see our current command structure. So we currently type D, 14, and then if we type lowercase d again, it will say that we want to delete the next 14 lines. And it did that. It just deleted the next 14 lines. Obviously, this would be easier to tell with line numbers being displayed. However, we'll get to displaying line numbers in a future tutorial. So all of this functionality can be combined to do some pretty incredible stuff. It's very easy for editing. So, like just for example, say we went to this line here. This is a Takor line, and we want to, let's just say, change the two words "is a" to something else. Well, we can type C2W to change two words, and then we can just go ahead and change it right there. Now this, as I mentioned before, is the beauty of Vim. This is what makes Vim Vim. The ability to take single commands and combine all of them to create more powerful commands. So let's go ahead and, as we promised, clean up our documents. So I'm about to teach you two extra modifiers that we can use, or two extra commands that you can use to navigate through a document. And I know that I've been covering a lot in this video, however, these are kind of necessary. In order to get to the bottom of a document, you can type capital G, and that just automatically takes your cursor to the beginning of the last line. Now what if you want to get to the top of the document? Well, you can type lowercase g twice, so that's GG. So capital G to get to the bottom, GG to get to the top. So what happens, or what do we do if we want to actually delete from a certain location to the bottom of the document, or to the top of a document? Well, we can combine our commands with these modifiers. So let's just say we want to delete everything that's not the explicit little instructions that we've created. So we can move over to this blank line above the instructions, and we can signal the cursor to delete up until the beginning of a document. So we say delete, and then we type in GG to move the cursor to the beginning of the document, to delete everything between the current cursor position and the beginning of the document. So let's type lowercase gg. And as you can see, it quickly has just deleted everything from the cursor to the top of the document. And then if we want to continue typing, we can type in capital G and lowercase o to open a new line at the end of the document. So, if you've been watching the last couple tutorials wondering, come on, when's the good stuff going to come in? When can we really know how to edit a document powerfully? This is what you need to know. Now you're getting the knowledge to actually create your own commands and do things quickly. For example, imagine doing this in Word. It just wouldn't work out. Now, the capital G moves to the end of a line, and lowercase gg moves to the beginning of a document. However, what happens if we combine our new knowledge of number modifiers with these commands? Well, you can use them to easily navigate a document. Say you want to move it to a specific line number. Say we want to move to line number 17. Well, we could say that we want to move, we could insert the pre-number modifier, 17, and then capital G. And then the combination of these two commands moves the cursor to line 17. Now all of this cursor movement can be combined with other commands. For example, what if we wanted to copy up to line 17? Well, we would use the yank command along with the 17g command that we just used. So we type in Y for yank, 17 to move 17 lines down, and then capital G. And although our cursor does not move to the 17th line, the little display message in the bottom left of our gvim window shows us that 17 lines have indeed been yanked. So we can go ahead and move to the bottom of the document by pressing capital G, and we could press P to paste those 17 lines back in. And if we scroll down with J, we know that the 17 lines that we wanted were actually copied and pasted into our document. So then we can go ahead and delete all of this extra junk by typing in D and then capital G to delete to the end of a document. Now, there's also some fun stuff with this too. For example, we can take a single line. Let's just write a new line here. Let's write hello world. And we can actually take this line and quickly paste it a very large amount of times using our number modifiers and our knowledge of how these modifiers work. So the first thing we need to do is we need to yank this entire line. So in order to do that, we are going to use the double lowercase y command. So we want to yank, and then when it tells us when we need to specify what we want to yank this entire line, so we say lowercase y again. So now that we have the entire line yanked, let's just say we want to paste it 500 times. So, with our new knowledge, we need to use the p command, which is the paste command, and we want to repeat that command 500 times, so we type in 500p. And now, if we just scroll down with J, you can see that we now have a very useless 500 lines of hello world. The possibilities are really endless when you think about all of these commands that you can combine. So we know that since we added 500 lines, in order to actually delete the 500 lines that we added from, now that our cursor's at the end of the document, we can actually type in the delete command, and then we just want our cursor to delete from, we want to delete from the current cursor position to the 500th line, I believe. Actually, we want to delete from the current cursor position 500 lines upward. So, in order to do that, we specify 500, and then we think, how do we move the cursor up? Well, we use the K command. So, we press K to move the current cursor position up 500, and once we do that, we have all of our hello worlds deleted from the document. And I know that's a lot to digest. That definitely is a lot that we just covered in this tutorial. However, hopefully you'll be able to practice this. Practice makes perfect. And the best way to go through these videos is slowly. After you learn something new, be sure to practice it for 10, 20 minutes, maybe a few days before moving on to the next functionality. So you really get all of the functionality down. And just because practice makes perfect, the best way to learn all of this stuff is to actually use it. So thank you for watching this tutorial. Hopefully it was useful for you, and hopefully you found value in it. If not, or if you did, don't be afraid to rate, comment, and subscribe if you really like this video. I look forward to hearing from you guys. And we're going to end this video by saving and quitting our document in Vim with :WQ. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Peace.